5 o'clock.
Here we go. Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the Monday, May the 4th, 2026 regular meeting of the Orange County School Board. And Ms. Byram will need roll call.
Yes, Miss Dawson,
Here.
Miss Harrington,
Here.
Mr. Hawkins, sorry,
That's okay. I'm here.
Mr. Rickett,
Here.
and Miss Whittington.
Here.
Madam Chair, the clerk certifies the presence of a quorum.
All right. Item C, the agenda. Dr. Hornick, any changes?
No, ma'am.
All right. Anybody have a motion?
To make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So we are now at item 2, and we will need to go into closed session. So I'll need that motion.
Oh, that's
Are you up for it, Mr. Rickett, or is it Ms. Whittington?
I'm actually, if Tina could bail me out, I'm
Yeah,
still trying to
yeah.
get in here.
Sorry. Pursuant to 2.2-3711A of the Code of Virginia, the Orange County School Board will convene a closed meeting for the following: discussion of personnel or the performance of a division employee as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia for resignation, termination, transfer, employment, salary adjustment, and retirement of employees and the superintendent's contract; discussion of pupil personnel as authorized by Section 2.2-3711A2 for early admission, waiver of compulsory attendance, out-of-county, out-of-district requests, and student discipline.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We are now in closed.
Tina, I'll look at
Now need a closed session certification, Ms. Whittington?
Whereas the Orange County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Orange County School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hawkins,
Yes.
Ms. Dawson,
Aye.
Mr. Rickett,
Aye.
Ms. Whittington,
Aye.
Ms. Harrington.
Aye.
Madam Chair, the clerk certifies the vote as follows: 5 yes votes, no votes. The resolution is approved by a 5-0 vote.
All right, and item 3B, disposition of personnel actions. Dr. Hornick, a recommendation?
Yes, recommend the approval of the personnel actions as presented in closed session.
Sorry. I'm going to make a motion to approve the request of waiver for compulsory attendance under the religious exemption for pupil personnel case PP 2025-25 and 26.
Right, and that's the one for pupil personnel actions and then also personnel actions. Can we
Yes.
roll that into one motion, Ms. Byron? All right, and we'll need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we will now open session. Join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so we are now at number 5, recognitions. Dr. Hornick?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I'd like to start this evening let's go with Dr. Wolfrey. Would you come forward, please?
Good evening. We're proud this evening to recognize Marilee Grubb, who was recently awarded the prestigious endorsement of Principal of Distinction. Marilee was one of 25 leaders in this inaugural group. This was a cohort that was selected by the Virginia Department of Education for their leadership in student achievement, instructional practice, and school culture. When the initial memo announcing the program arrived, Dr. Hornick's question wasn't if someone from our district should apply, but who. So we looked at the criteria and we immediately agreed that Ms. Grubb would be an excellent candidate. Unfortunately, she agreed to submit that application. By entering the process, Ms. Grubb wasn't just applying for a title, she was accepting a challenge from the Virginia Board of Education to define what excellence truly means in school leadership today. What makes this achievement so meaningful is that she did not treat this as a solo academic exercise, as evidenced by her team that's here today. Instead, she used the process to accelerate the goals that she had already begun with her team, and we were able to watch her work on this capstone project as it came to life as she worked alongside her teachers. And now we're going to ask Ms. Grubb to share with you some of the details of the project.
Good evening. Thank you for having me this evening. I'm just going to give you a little bit about what my capstone project was, and I just want to start off by thanking everybody who is to my right, of all my right-hand men and women over here, because they are the ones that saw my mission and vision and what I've set out to do at Lightfoot and believed in it and what we were doing, and then continued along the way. So this capstone project was a cyclical job-embedded professional development program that I implemented across literacy, math, science, and history that focused on building collective leadership of classroom teachers to see themselves and each other as leaders of impact at the classroom level, team, school, district, and community levels to enhance academic outcomes. So while linking teacher leadership directly to improved academic outcomes has been difficult in past research, this project demonstrates that results occur when teachers, again these teachers, number one, focus on their own professional learning mission, vision, and action steps to improve teaching and learning. And number 3, when teachers empower each other. So first, I took quantitative data from the increased SML scores and student growth assessments in the past 2.5 years that showed a steady increase in academic outcomes. Second, there was qualitative data in the form of teacher surveys that suggest that when teachers reflect on professional learning in the areas they need and areas that they can lead for their peers, as well as reflect on their impact in and beyond the classroom, that each student, each teacher, and each family will succeed. Teacher strengths are noted specifically across content areas. For example, a teacher with a strength in leading morphology also has the knowledge to lead their team in classroom with content in using what we call the 3-part drill, but using those ideas in math and science. Teachers with knowledge how to lead students into asking questions that drive learning in science can lead their team and teachers at the district level to implement the same type of questioning and inquiry in history. Teachers who lead their classroom and teams with family communication around literacy and math practices can lead sessions for families to engage in practices at family events that assist the families at home. And teachers who believe in their own skill set at the classroom and team levels then sign up for the curriculum work for the division or start co-teaching division level PD. So most educators know Simon Sinek and his why. You've seen many of those videos. So, and we hear that a lot in education, what is your why? So this project was not about the why. The why is at what I call the compliance level. This project was the how. How do principals envision chipping away at or even crushing barriers? How do principals build systems for leaders to function and, more importantly, to grow? How do they use this to leverage academic outcomes? One teacher who is here stated, before coming here, I had at least 25 years of experience. It was here where I was led to believe that I had what it took to be a leader, not only a leader in math, but in good instructional practices. My fear of presenting to adults diminished over the 3 years because of strong encouragement and strong leadership. And another teacher stated, who's also here, and a beginning teacher, I am learning leadership starts with small, intentional actions by building strong relationships with students and collaborating closely with colleagues. I'm beginning to develop my voice as a leader within the school community. Each challenge I face is also an opportunity to grow, listen, and model resilience, helping me build the foundation for elective leadership in years to come. And another stated, I have learned to be a leader at Lightfoot. I have learned that to be a leader at Lightfoot, you have the willingness to do your best and always learn from your mistakes. So how do we, what sets us apart at Lightfoot and for me with this project, to enhance our strengths and complement each other's strengths to improve our student outcomes, we commit. And I would like to take a moment to, it is Educator Appreciation Week, and we have breakfast and all these little things, lunch, treats, and everything for our staff. But this really came down to a few things. So I wanted to say thank you. First, to Dr. Hornick for supporting me.
Thanks, Mary Lee. So proud of you.
Thank you.
You know that, right?
Yep, thank you. And to Dr. Wolfrey also for supporting me and helping me see my way through some of the smaller details of these pieces. And then I also wanted to take a moment to thank you as the school board. I know you probably don't get, it's like us, we don't get a whole lot of thanks as educators. Sometimes it feels that way, and even today it's just like, well, when's holiday? Which we had today. But I want to take a moment just to thank you for supporting me in my role. And I know when you come to our school
Marilee, congratulations.
In closing, just want to extend not only congratulations to Marilee, but to our entire staff, the students and families at Lightfoot Elementary for the tremendous work on this project.
And to all the amazing staff members at Lightfoot, thank you all for coming out this evening to support Marilee and to really celebrate this moment that was born by your collective efforts. And it doesn't go unnoticed, and we really appreciate you all coming out this evening. It's great to see you. Thank you. Ms. Grubb, did you have anybody to recognize tonight? You're good. Okay. So next, let's have Ms. J. Please come forward. How you doing this evening, Ms. J?
Awesome.
It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me here. And I'm actually not here to recognize teachers. I'm here to recognize parents and the job that they do raising their children. And if it weren't for this particular family, I would not have been able to do everything that I've done this year, starting with going to Nashville, Tennessee. And on the way, this parent who was driving a school vehicle had a flat tire in one of our school vehicles. We came back, we finished the trip, we took the Technology Student Association to Nashville, Tennessee so that they could compete. They did a great job. That was at the end of June, beginning of July. Next, back to school night. These parents came in, they set up 2 tables, one for the Technology Student Association, the other for the Student Council. The next thing that they did, they helped with the homecoming. I ran out of gas on Route 64, and this parent made sure that the dance decorations got done and put up and helped supervise. There were teachers there, but this parent did that. Next, we hosted a trunk or treat at OES. Again, this family showed up, decked out. You'll see pictures later. Dylan happened to put one in a slideshow and helped with the trunk or treat. Following that, we did cookies with Santa. Again, a great support. Their children acted as Santa's bodyguard elves. I had some family situations go on, but they did not let that stop. So in March, and there were things that went on in February as well, but in March, and Dr. Hornick and Rod, you saw this, we hosted this huge convention. And if it weren't again for this parent who was there every single day doing registration, checking people in, we would not have, well, I guess we would have, but it wouldn't have been as nice. Back to February, this parent also went with me to the aerial drone competition at Langley, and the students won that competition, followed up by going to another competition, and this was in Stewart's Draft High School, acted as a chaperone again. We just came back this past weekend from our our state Technology Student Association convention. Again, that parent was there, drove a vehicle. These students you haven't gotten the email yet, but these students did make it in the finals at the state tournament, so they've qualified to go to nationals. So at this time, I'd like to have actually the students come up first. So let me have Jacob, Dylan, and Jordan, because they're always there as well. And now I'd like to have Jillian and Jesse Mills please come forward. So that was just what they've done this year. So over the last few years, when I had to move my classroom, Mr. Mills came in with his tools, helped take furniture apart and move it. And it certainly does take a village to raise a child, but when you have great parents like this, you have great students. This Plaque says, with our deepest appreciation presented to parent volunteers Jillian and Jesse Mills for your dedication, knowledge, kindness, and commitment to Orange County High Schools Technology Student Association and Student Council Association. We thank you so much.
Ms. J, you think we can grab a picture?
Yep.
We'd love to have her with her staff. Thank you, guys. Golden opportunity. You missed it. Could've been late on the board.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Have a nice night.
I love it. How sweet is that?
And thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Chair
thank
and
you.
members of the board.
All right.
Lori,
Awesome.
Lori, thank you for all you do.
Yes, absolutely.
You didn't hear the running out of gas story.
What?
Say it now. So I ran out of gas on 64, and I could see the sign that said Zions Crossroads, whatever. So I did the phone calls, did all that. The police, my husband was calling the police. They said a trooper's on the way. So I got out of the car, and it was like 100 degrees, so I had an umbrella. The police came because they got phone calls that there was an old woman. Guess who the trooper was? Doug Straley's brother-in-law.
Oh, my goodness. Funny.
Small world,
But
small
by
world.
the time I made it back, she had made sure everything was done.
Amazing. That's great.
God bless.
Thanks for sharing. It's a fun story. All right, that brings us to item number 6, which is public comment. But I don't believe we have anyone signed up.
No, ma'am, we don't.
All right, so we can,
Just a quick second. I would just like to thank the Mills as well. You know, a lot of the things Ms. J said, Ms. J, always awesome, great to see you. But thanks for setting the example for parents. We can't do everything, the 5 of us up here. We cannot. We cannot. We need help. And people like you step up, and it is greatly, greatly appreciated. When our community shows involvement within our education system, everybody wins. Everybody wins. So again, thank you very much for all you do. It's a lot of time. It is.
thank you, Joe. Much appreciated.
Very much.
All right, so we'll slip right past public comment and go to item 7, the consent agenda. Board members, we've all had these to review, so unless there's discussion, we'll have a motion.
Do you want to do them all together or separate?
Unless there's one that needs discussion, we can do them all together. Is there anyone we need to pull out?
No, not for me.
I didn't see anything. We're good. Okay, so just a motion.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the April 20th, 2026 meeting minutes, the March 2026 financial report, the February 2026 food service report, and the March 2026 monthly operating bills.
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that carries. So now we're at 8, student reports. Dylan Mills.
Mr. President.
Is that how we can refer to you, Mr. President?
Yes, well, yes.
Have him
Not
to
much
the chief
longer,
or
so.
something.
When does your tenure end? At the end?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
Okay.
Not this Tuesday.
Okay. Very good.
All right.
Dylan, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see y'all. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dylan Mills. For the last 2 years, I've been serving as Orange County High School Student Council President, and I am here to give a little student rep report about our last year at Orange County High School. I want to start by apologizing if I miss anything. The high school had a huge year this year, full of great accomplishments from students from all different backgrounds, so it was really great to see and compile this. So my main points are our best moments of the year, some Hornet highlights, and kind of some stuff that we're setting for the future. One of our best moments from the year are stuff that happened for the whole school, the pep rallies and senior events. Our first big moment this year was our back to school. So I had my little table set up there for student council. Thank you to the Mills family for helping me set that up. I just had tassels and stuff laid out, and we had a bunch of clubs there, and every kid came in, and we had club registration ready. So I had, you can't see it, I had a little flyer with the QR code that you can sign, and a lot of other clubs had something similar. It's a great way for families to come in, and you know, it was fun to see how the parents kind of pressured their kids, like, oh, you should join this club, you should join this club. And so it was cool to see a lot of those freshmen come back afterwards, and some of the upperclassmen who were transferring to their school come back and actually join the clubs. And so it was nice to see that from back to school. Our pep rallies were pretty huge this year. I believe we had 5 in total. We had our beginning of the year pep rally, which this year we did on the first day of school. So it was a great way to open it up to the freshmen, get them interested in our hype. One of them right there, the far right photo, is actually a freshman in front of his whole entire class at our second pep rally of the year. And so they really got into it. They had the largest class. I think they had 600 students. And so it was pretty nuts. It's surprising they didn't win anything. We started off with our beginning of the year pep rally. We introduced our new principal, Mr. Sedano, and we had some games for students and staff to participate in. And then after that, we had our homecoming pep rally, which was in September this year. So we did it a little bit earlier than last year. We had Jack there on the far right. I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure of meeting Jack. He was pretty big in student council in Locust Grove. He served as the VSCA middle school representative. And the seniors really got into it. The seniors won a bunch of pep rallies. After that, we followed it up. We started the next semester off with a winter pep rally. And so we honored our winter sports there and had everybody come out. I don't remember what our theme was for that pep rally. I don't think we much have had one. Our homecoming theme was just the homecoming colors. And then for the first time in a very, very long time at Orange County High School this year, we had a spring sports pep rally. And that was 2 weeks ago. So we had everybody come in, and we wanted to bring back another old tradition, as well as that, class colors. And so I hadn't seen class colors or a spring pep rally used in my time at high school, so I thought to end off my little tenure here, I'll give a new tradition for the future. Our freshmen wore black, our sophomores wore white, our juniors were blue, and our seniors were orange. So the idea is that you're earning your colors as you progress through the school. And through the last 2 pep rallies, the winter pep rally, we raised stuffed animals. So we had students bring in stuffed animals to the pep rally to throw onto the court at the end to donate to local children's hospitals. And then our last one, Jacob had the great idea of doing a Red Cross Miracle Minute, and we raised over $300 for the Red Cross through that. And so it was just a fun time with the pep rallies. We got the whole school involved. A lot of students said that they were really great and they enjoyed it, and just getting out of class and being able to do something fun and watching their peers compete was really nice. Next up, I have some of our senior events. I can speak more on this year because I got to participate finally. We started off with a senior picnic the first couple weeks of school, and they brought in cookies and stuff, and we all got to hang out in the courtyard, in the upstairs part, or not the upstairs, the uphill part of the high school. And it was a nice way to just talk to your fellow seniors as we're starting the year, and it was one of my favorite events of the year. And then we had our senior sunrise, and That was smaller. It was right before school started. We had coffee and drinks and some pastries to go along with that. And then our only other senior event we had this year so far was our senior pancake breakfast, which I don't have any pictures of in there. We had Santa Claus come in, and we had pancakes for the seniors, it's just a nice way to highlight our seniors and to get us involved in something and give us a little mental break. And then we had a lot of community events this year. As Ms. J was saying, we had Trunk or Treat at OES, and so there's the Mills family and their Disney gear. That was a big success. We had a lot of families come up, and it was kind of a tailgate to the pep rally. We had senior night for football that night, or not the pep rally, the football game. So it was nice to see everybody come there. They passed out candy. A lot of clubs got involved. I know ROTC, DECA got involved, and they had their own booths set up with fun activities to do. Another activity we did this year was Cookies with Santa. It was our second annual event this year. This is one of my favorite events. I brought it to the school last year after looking at some of the stuff I did as a child with my grandma. And so we decided to bring it here and create something new for our families to come to for completely free with arts and crafts, free cookies to decorate, pictures with Santa, and music. And so we had a lot more families come this year. I think the word spread a lot from last year. A completely new event we did this year was a Veterans Day event with Mr. Conrad Ogletree. The first part of this event was setting up flags outside of Orange County High School up in the horseshoe up there. So we laid out flags, and then during the day on Veterans Day, we had our veteran teachers come out and be honored and be presented with plaques, and I gave a speech for that to honor each and every single one of them. And then the second stage of that was doing a performance at Lake of the Woods, where we had a bunch of Orange County High School students get up and do reenactments of some war stories. So it was nice to see, not like reenactments, but they told the stories in a nice and compelling way. And then we had our annual Orange County Parade for homecoming, and we had a little bit of an issue this year. A couple of our floats bailed out the day of, and I was on the phone trying to frantically get them. But luckily, one of our students was able to get a float to come in, and then I was already rallied up. I was like, I'm going to walk. I don't care how I get to Porterfield. I'm going to get there, and we're gonna win this football game. And then Mr. Sedano pulled around in the golf cart, and he said, how about you get in? And I had a speaker with me, so we wired the speaker on the back of it and then put the microphone in the front. And so we were going through Orange, singing songs and leading the cheerleaders. And so our community events really, I think, strengthened Orange County and presented just a nice, fun activities to do. All of it was free to attend, and so it's nice to see all the young faces and all the just smiles. For our student news, we have a lot going on. So we have our clubs, our fine arts, and our sports this year all had amazing achievements. Starting us off with my club, the Student Council Association. This year, for the first time in Orange County history, we served as the state president school. And so I served as the student representative of that. And a part of our duties, we had to host a advisory committee meeting, which we normally do annually. We had to host the regional workshop for Region 4 because Amonte Lindsay, my vice president, was serving as the student representative for the Region 4 representative school, which was also Orange County this year. And then we had to host the VSCA state convention at the high school, which actually had a record amount of attendees since before COVID. We have over 600 people coming to the high school, and I believe I saw some of our school board's faces there, so it was nice to see y'all. And then the top right photo, we had some pretty big names from across the state. We had the director of the Virginia Association of Secondary School Principals, Dr. Randy Barrick. We had the state superintendent and many others come, and members from the state school board to come speak to us and speak with us. Under that photo is a picture of me and my two state officers, Karina Grover from Colgan High School and Nadia Echeverria from Parkview High School. And then under that photo, we were invited to go speak at Orange Elementary School this year for their SCA initiation. So I got to give a speech to them and talk to those kids. I remember one kid, he's on the far left there, he came up to me afterwards and asked how he could be state president. And so it was nice to see just the glimmer of hope in their eyes and how they wanted to change the future with their leadership. So we had a lot of great events this year. Just really kept going, and it was a long year, but we got through it. We got all of our events done, and I had a lot of people from the state convention say it was the best state event they've ever gone to. They really loved it, and I loved it. It was a great time. We had a huge pep rally at both of our state events, and we all really got into it and got our nails dirty and got it done. Our next club is our Technology Student Association Club, which I'm also a member of. As you can see, Jacob's up there. We just returned yesterday from Technosphere, which is the state competition for that, where we had multiple top 10 teams and multiple awards for community service and other achievements that we've created. As well as that, the TSA has been going around to the elementary and middle schools around Orange County and doing STEM nights, showing off how to work the drones and the robots and all the other things that go into TSA and getting the kids involved. They also, this isn't a part of TSA, but it has a lot of the same kids. The aerial drone team, they went to NASA Langley, and one of our underclassmen teams won the competition there. And then we should be heading off to nationals, hopefully, to compete. I know my team was one of the ones that got top 10, so that was really cool to see. It's the first time I've done one of those. It's just great achievements, and I hope that we can continue to win. Another club I joined for the first time this year was DECA. I heard a lot about DECA business and stuff, so they had a lot going on. Their first main thing was the region fair, and then after that, we had a state DECA officer come to our school and speak to us. That's the top left over there. Her name is Chrysanthi, and so she came and spoke with us and got to meet us. It was really cool. That was my first DECA event myself, and so it was nice to see that and to meet a fellow state officer from another club. And then from there, we went and competed at states, where at the bottom left is Ethan Lang, who actually qualified for the national competition for his competition, and so that was cool to see. And then this last week, they just returned from national competition in Atlanta, where they seemed to have a really fun time. That is the team that went there with the chaperone, Miss Day Owens. The next club also just had a big weekend, was our fine arts and drama. They just had their annual spring show of The Little Mermaid, and I was unable to attend, unfortunately. I really wanted to. I was at TSA. But we did have Lyra Day perform at our pep rally, and she gave a wonderful song, as she is the lead of the play. And so we had a lot of kids. We had some kids crying and some kids using their phones as lights and stuff, and so it was really nice to see that. But other than that, I heard great things about the play. I also heard, they told me today, that they set a record number of attendees for an Orange County High School musical of over 400, and so it was really cool to see that as well. For sports, we have two amazing athletes, which I'm sure you've all heard of by now. We have Sophia Slaughter and Brandon Testa. Sophia is a 3-time state champion now for Orange County High School for women's wrestling and has become a figurehead in Virginia for women's wrestling. Brandon Testa is now, I think, ranked 4th in the nation for his shot put weight class. And so they both are continuing on to do great things. And I think Brandon has qualified for states again for outdoor track. And he won indoor track states this year and set a course record at Liberty High School. For future plans, one of the things that I'm trying to do, another thing that I'm trying to bring back to Orange County High School, is the morning broadcast. I do the morning announcements right now, and not a lot of students pay attention, and I love broadcasting. I'm going into journalism after high school, and I'm going to school for that. So I was like, how can I bring this back to our school, even though I'm not going to be here for it? So next Tuesday, me and my other announcement crew, Vince Anderson, Lyra Day, and Shelby Herlock, I think are going to record a little pre-recorded broadcast in our caps and gowns to do the morning announcements, and hopefully we'll air that on the 13th to all classes, and then future generations will be inspired by that and they'll want to continue it on. I was a part of a crew this year that tried to bring the announcements back, but it just became too much to manage for us. I think a lot of our students that were doing that were really busy with other clubs, and so it was a lot to start something brand new when we already had our state competitions and stuff like that going on. I saw a big rise this year in student culture again, and I hope that we can continue to do that under our new principal, Nick Sedano. He did, in my eyes and a lot of students' eyes, he did a fantastic job this year, and so it was great to see him and how he interacted with students. I got the opportunity to job shadow him for my Governor School Capstone project, and to see the way that he talks to the students and interacts with all of them, how he knows every single athlete somehow. We walk through the hallway, there'll be some freshmen playing JV on some sport I didn't even know we had, and he'll be like, how was your game last night? I was like, well, how do you know about that? And then, it's going to be hard to lose these seniors. I'm a part of them. We're big, we're loud, and we're definitely proud. But I hope that the future generations can continue to just have that deep school culture in them and proud to be OC. And so I want to thank you guys for having me. I want to thank Ms. Jamerson for, this is my last school board meeting and one of my last weeks as SCA president. So I want to thank Ms. Jamerson for being there for me the whole time. It was definitely stressful, but we got it done. It's great to be here these last 2 years. I hope that, I think my predecessor, I can say it now, right, is Amonte Lindsay. So I hope he can continue to just build on what we have set in stone and just continue to move forward and do great things in the future. I want to thank each and every single one of you for having me today. Thank you so much.
Well done, Dylan.
Thanks.
Dylan, we are sad to see you go. You have been just a remarkable leader at the high school, and I always love it when you come and talk to us. You're so confident and self-assured and creative, and we can't wait to see where you end up in your journalism studies. And well done, young man. Thank you so much. It's kind of bittersweet to have to say you're leaving us, but green fields ahead for you for sure. Thank
Remember
you.
us when you're on national.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much. It was great. I wish I could have come and speak more this year, but gosh, the Monday things, it's really hard for my schedule. So I'm glad I was able to be here today.
You've had a thing or two on your plate.
Yeah.
Very proud of you, Dylan.
Understand.
Congratulations.
Great job.
I would say, Dylan, last year at the end of the year, I believe you came and gave us a presentation of those things you would like to do over this year. And seeing everything that you were able to fulfill, it's extraordinary.
That's correct.
And so wonderful to hear and to see and to watch. I was able to attend one of the SCA events, and I just want everyone to know that that boy right there, he's out there with his spirit, and I'm not sure who had more spirit, the students or Miss Jamerson, but it was fun. So thank you for everything you've done, and good luck in the future.
Good luck.
Thank you guys so much.
Congrats, Dylan.
Thank you.
Proud of you. Thank you, Miss J. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, family.
Yes. Yeah. All right. We are at item 9, superintendent's reports.
Yes, ma'am. This evening we have one report from our school nutrition director, Julie. I think the board is and the community is really going to appreciate what Julie's about to present. I'll turn it over to you.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me this time to share a small glimpse of what our department has accomplished this year, to share what we have planned for summer and some of next year. So as of April 30th, our amazing staff of 44 employees have served over 350,000 breakfasts and over 510,000 lunches across Orange County Public Schools, including an additional 5,600 what we call snow meals for that lovely ice storm we had. And if you look at that, that's about 70% of our students eat lunch every single day. And some of our schools even feed more than that. At Gordon Barber, it's up to almost 90% of our students come in and have lunch every single day in our schools. So it's pretty impressive what we're able to accomplish. Oh, and that slide there was showing what it looked like to pack all those lovely snow meals. So you saw just boxes everywhere of food. That was a rush. Some of our goals this year were to expand farm to school, to improve the overall food quality, and to optimize some of our business practices. And really that was taking what we did on paper and turning it into technology. We had to update a little bit. All right, so I'd like to talk first about our farm to school. This was kind of our biggest push. Last school year, about 1% of our total food budget was spent on local foods. And my goal is to steadily increase that up to about 4% of our total food spent on local foods. This year so far, we have spent about $22,000 or 2% of our total budget on local foods. And our focus this year was mostly on fruits and vegetables. And as we go through, we'll expand that to hopefully some proteins as well. And we define local as our state, Virginia, plus the adjacent states. So that includes North Carolina or West Virginia, Tennessee. We try to keep it into Virginia as much as possible. We continued to partner with Thornton River Orchard, which we did last year. Additionally, we brought on Stony Run Greenhouse. They are a greenhouse out of Shenandoah, and they provide all of our lettuce for Gordon Barber Elementary, here at Teague, and Orange County High School. And so they cut their lettuce on Thursday, and they deliver it to us on Friday. So it is extremely fresh, which is awesome and lasts a really long time. We have also added 4P Foods. They are a food hub out of Warrenton, and so they take a bunch of small farmers and bring their products to them, and then they're able to distribute out to us. And one reason this is really helpful is because a lot of our small farmers can't deliver to every single one of our schools, but they can deliver to one location. And when you have a bunch of those collectives, then that collective is allowed to bring all the food to us. So it's a great system. We also partnered with FFA this year in their spring strawberry sale, and we're continuing to partner with them as much as we can throughout their years. Hopefully we'll be able to add some more items through their fundraising efforts or anything that they make in their greenhouse. If they grow it, we can use it in our high school as well. All right, so our next thing that we tried was at Lightfoot was our pilot school for our what we call a salad bar. And this was kind of our self-serve options. So in October of 2025, Lightfoot was our pilot school for switching from a pre-packaged fruit and vegetable model to a self-serve model. With this self-serve model, students are able to see their foods better, in which we eat with our eyes, and we want to be able to see all of our food. They have higher food autonomy because they are able to choose more options. Students in these types of schools are allowed to choose as many fruits and vegetables as they will eat at lunch, so they can choose more than one fruit option. It is very cost effective because our employees are not having to spend the time to package everything up, and also we're not paying for the cost of all the packaging. There is less trash because they don't have packaging as much, and it allows us to use seasonal and local produce more effectively. After the pilot at Lightfoot and it was successful, we then expanded it to almost all of our locations, including Unionville, Locust Grove Middle, Locust Grove Elementary, Primary, and Teak. And Teak has a little bit of an expansion, so that's why there's an asterisk there. Next school year, Orange County High School will start the school off with a self-serve fruits and vegetables. And Gordon Barbara has done switch one item to a self-serve, and they will switch all of their items to a self-serve. Orange Elementary is going to be our holdout just because they don't have a holding capacity at this point for cold items, and we're hoping to be able to update their lines in the near future so they can do that.
Update their what now?
Their lines, their serving lines don't have any way to keep items
okay.
cold.
Yep.
So until we get some new serving items to keep them cold, we'll be using our current model. All right, here at Teak, we added in March a full salad bar. This salad bar is part of the students' lunch. It is also available for all adults in the building or who come to visit, and adults offer it at $2.75. So it's a very inexpensive option for our adults here. Plus, it gives our students here that are the non-preschool students the option to have that full salad bar. And this is including
Quite a
our...
few folks in the audience take advantage, don't they?
Yes, they do, and it's a great thing. But this uses all of our greenhouse lettuce as well, which is awesome.
I'm gonna have to coordinate my visits up here.
Yeah, come visit. You can have one. It's delicious. Yes.
Board
We
members-
also go ahead.
Certain board members get charged double.
$2.75.
I will set the price.
You do that.
Julie would not allow you.
Most of them can have it for $2.75.
There you go.
Yeah, my lunch
There you
code.
go.
Yeah.
We take cash or your account. Another part we did was to increase scratch cooking. This is kind of a push across the country more and more, and we're expected to see more and more requests for simple scratch cooking. We kind of took a lot of that out of it with COVID and over the last few years, and now we're starting to put it back in. So we implemented several new recipes. The one on your left is a scratch-made pico de gallo that the high school serves. The middle is a Korean bulgogi bowl that the middle school tested. And on the right-hand side, you have a strawberry spring salad, which was tested and implemented at all sites across the county. Awesome. So we had about 8 to 10 scratch recipes that we implemented, and then over the summertime, we'll be testing some more, implementing more. We're hoping to do a scratch ranch dressing, so that'll be our next push. We also did several taste tests at the high school. We wanted the students to have input on what the food they're receiving. So the picture on the left-hand side here, we tested a sausage and cheese stuffed waffle, and we used a very old school system. You got a sticker and yes, you want it, or no, you didn't, and it was great. And our high school students really like that. So that item will be on our breakfast menu next year at least once a month. We have also removed all artificial dyes from all of our school food. Our last holdout was some ice cream products, and those are officially done. So even the cotton candy that has pink and blue, it is naturally occurring dyes in that product. So I can officially say they're all gone. And then we've also had significant reduction in added sugar, especially at our breakfast foods. We had upwards of 46 grams of added sugar in our breakfast meal. And we're down to about 18 to 20, which is still high, but significantly better. And within about a year from now, there will be a rule and regulation coming in for all USDA served food items that it must be less than 10% by calories. So if you have, say, a breakfast that's 400 calories, you can only have 12 grams of sugar added for the entire thing. So it's by 10% by calories. So that was a needed item anyway, but we would like to be ahead of the curve and reduce that significantly. All right, and then for optimizing business practices, we really needed to take all of our monthly paperwork and digitize that, and that was a big push. A lot of our employees were so used to doing everything by hand, and so we have a lot of training, a lot of slow changes to make it more efficient. I'm able to cost things out much more efficiently when I can see it in a digital platform, and so that's a slow change. And then the other piece was that students now will be putting in their barcode numbers or scanning their badges. A lot of schools have already implemented this for breakfast and lunch, and all schools across the county will be implementing this next year if they have not done so already. So students that have their ID badges can scan their barcodes, or they can enter their 6-digit ID number. Yes?
What happens on the allergy identification?
Yes. So currently, if a child comes through the line and they pick up their meal and we are tally marking at some schools that a lunch has been received, we have no way of knowing if that child has an allergy or if they do have an allergy, are we serving it to them? So when they're able to put their identification number into the system, their picture pops up, money on their lunch account if they want to purchase something extra, and it flags any dietary restrictions or allergies, so that we are much more able to make sure that what they're eating is safe.
And that's something that's in place now or something new?
So it is there. All of their allergy information is on our computer system, but some schools were able to switch to the computer system, and some have not, based on how their students released at lunch, if they all came at one time, or if they don't have a computer system in their lunch lines. Currently, Gordon Barber does not have a computer system at their lunch area, and next year they will.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then they will also be able to purchase a la carte items if they would like to, our students. And then we're going to talk a little bit about a summer feeding program. So this summer will be similar in one sense to last year. All of our summer school students and our daycare students from June 1 to June 18th will eat on site. They'll be provided breakfast and lunch. It's a hot meal with the option of cereal every day or peanut butter and jelly if they want something different. And then on Thursdays, all of those students will take home a take-home bag with cold meals for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that will include their breakfast and lunch for those 3 days. TEAC will be operating the whole summer, so they don't have just the 3-week portion. In addition to our traditional summer school model, or maybe go to the next slide, we are going to implement a mobile program. And what this is we will be going out into the community and feeding our community that way. Instead of the community trying to come to us, we're going to go to them. On Mondays and Wednesdays, we will be at the Gordonsville Library and the Oak Brook Terrace Apartments between these 30-minute windows. Families can come and pick up meals. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they will be at the Locust Grove Wilderness Library. And then on the corner of 20 and 522, it's the East Orange Ruritan Club parking lot. And these feed 4 different kind of geographical sites within the community. On Mondays and Tuesdays, families will get 2 days worth of food, and on Wednesdays and Thursdays, they get 5 days worth of food. And this is breakfast and lunch. So for any child between the ages of 1 and 18, the child does not need to be present. The adults just need to tell me how many children we'll be feeding, and we pass them the bags. These are going to be cold meal options this school year. We'll see if we can expand to hot in the future. But for this summer, it will be cold options such as sandwiches, salads, wraps, and fruits and vegetables, and shelf-stable milk. Any questions on either what we've accomplished so far or our summer feeding? Questions,
Julie,
comments,
I don't
concerns?
have any questions. Just fantastic job. Especially, I love your summer program. That it's not an understatement. It's a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal. And again, thank you for I think it was 5,600
Yes.
meals
Yes.
for, again, another big deal. So thanks for spearheading all of this and getting all schools on the same page. So I'm excited to try the salad bar.
Yes, that was good. And thank you to all of our staff that came on those snow days and packed up meals and distributed meals. And there was a lot from the food service department, but also from everywhere in the county. So appreciate everyone on that again.
I was just going to add a thank you. I was at Unionville, I think it was, and in the talking to the cafeteria employees there, and one of them said she was really unsure about this whole, going through the line and the kids getting to choose, but it had really worked out well, and she was impressed with it. So, and it's just so good. So many great things. For the summer pickups, it's just any child. They don't have
Any
to have
child.
like a school ID or an ID number.
No, because the program is for ages 1 to 18, so this can be a child not in school yet, or a child that maybe attends a homeschool environment or a private school environment as well.
All right, so
they-
anybody. And how does that information get shared with our families?
We will be creating flyers and making announcements after tonight's event.
Awesome. That's incredible. Thank you. Good stuff.
Julie, you got the greatest endorsement ever. As soon as you started putting up slides, my stomach started going.
I heard it too. I can testify.
You have to come eat one day. You have to come have lunch one day.
The thing, the made from scratch thing and the local businesses, that's perfect. I'm all for that.
Yes.
And having been there when the students are getting lunch and watching them walk through the line and everything's on their level, they can see everything, they know what they're getting. The picture doesn't quite tell you what it's actually like in real life. So I agree, that was just a great decision that you guys made. It looks good in implementation. I did have a question about the summer feeding program. How do you anticipate? There's none.
There's not. It's a
anticipation?
trial and error.
Okay.
We are going to start with 200 meals bags on the very first day and see if we have 50 people out or 500 people out, and we'll adjust accordingly.
Are you able to repackage anything if it doesn't get passed out?
Yes. So a lot of our items are shelf stable, and then anything that needs to be chilled will be kept in cooler bags. So we have a 4-hour window from the time that they leave the refrigerator at our high school, which is where all our food will be packed, to the time that they return. We expect probably leaving the high school between 9:30 and 10 a.m., and they'll be back by about 1 o'clock. So we are able to reuse some of those items, especially our fruits and vegetables, our shelf-stable milk, those types of items.
That's good.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, Julie. Thank you very much.
All right. We are down to item 10, our action items. So A is the supplemental appropriation request for the SOQ bonus.
Yes, ma'am, and Jamie is here, can provide more information, but essentially, as Governor Youngkin was leaving office in December, he amended, as usual, the FY26 budget. It is known as the caboose bill. And what was put into that budget was a recommendation to provide a one-time bonus payment that includes school employees for SOQ-funded instruction and support positions. The state share was calculated based on $1,500 per SOQ position, and there is a required local match. We have worked with our colleagues at the county government level, and I'd like to give a shout out to them for their support of local match is
6,000.
6,000. There it is, 356,169. So really appreciate our county government assisting in this effort because we did not have $356,169 to bring to the effort. We will pay this as a retention bonus, so it will be charged back to FY26, and employees who worked for us this year, for the most part, outside of a few cases like school nutrition and Head Start, which have different funding mechanisms, and the ability to pay the bonus in those will be based on the program, the parameters of the program and how their budget is. But for the most part, the vast majority of our employees who worked for us this year and have a signed contract to return in FY27 as of June 30th will receive a bonus payment, and it will be paid out August 7th. And if you all would please approve this evening, I will send communication out to our staff early tomorrow morning so they know all the particulars about the one-time bonus.
All right. Do we have any questions for Dr. Hornick? Any comments on this one? All right, do we need a motion?
I'll move to approve the fiscal year 2026 supplemental appropriation in the amount of $812,801 as presented.
Second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. Next, we have Mr. Bennett, who is able to come forward and talk about the Chromebook bid award. We have had this topic of conversation a few times and got the board's approval to send it out for bid through our procurement process. Brandon, Leave turn it to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hornick. Madam Chair, members of the board, after going through our RFP across our website and through the Virginia state platform, we've reviewed 24 bids that were submitted. And through our rubric, CDW stood out as the best bid that kind of met all of our requirements for student needs as well as budgetary responsibilities, which is attached if you'd like to look through it. And I'm here to answer any questions. And this would cover student Chromebook replacements for this fall. So it provide first, fifth, and ninth grade students with a new Chromebook as they enter those grade levels.
No questions, yeah.
I was, sorry, my mind was thinking about it. So we know our first graders are getting it for the first time, right?
This would
And
be
then
their
our-
second year with a Chromebook.
So they have them in kindergarten too.
Sorry, correct. This would be our second year for first graders getting them, but this would be a change for the kindergartners as they rise into first grade.
Okay. And then fifth and ninth, is it just a cycle?
Yes.
Okay, so we're replacing them
Every
for
4
every
years.
student who hits fifth grade and ninth grade because it's a
Yes.
4-year cycle. All right, got it.
And it's based on warranty.
Yes, so at the end of 4 years, that Chromebook has been in student hands for 4 years at the school level. It's out of warranty, and it is
Sad.
much older.
Is screaming.
It's sad. Can you, I'm sorry if I'm being dense, the kindergarten to first grade, so we assign our kindergartners a one-to-one Chromebook?
No.
No.
Last year was our first year we moved all of first grade to a Chromebook. In years before
For
that.
the first time?
Yes.
Okay.
For years past, K1 was iPads.
Okay, gotcha.
And now kindergarten is nada, nothing?
Kindergarten does still have iPads
Okay.
for classroom use.
And this one's a 1-year contract, right? This isn't a long-term,
No, this is only a one-year contract.
because we still want to talk about.
We do,
Yeah.
yeah. So our iPads for kindergarten stay at the school?
Yes.
Okay, and then starting in first grade, they're able to carry them, take them home?
They do move about the building to some degree, but for the most part, it is based on the building they're at. So for elementary, I don't believe they're taking them home. That usually starts in the upper grade levels.
Okay.
Dr. Wolfrey?
No, for the most part, that's accurate. Some teachers will send them home on occasion if there's something.
On occasion.
So are we talking about the youngest, like the K2s, or up to 5?
In third, fourth, and fifth. is where
They
you
start to go home at that point,
Not on a regular basis, but they may.
but on occasion?
For
Okay.
certain needs.
Yeah.
Especially what tutoring needs or things like that.
Okay. Yeah, because we've had the discussion, Ms. Harrington and I have talked about it, Ms. Whittington and I have talked about it. I haven't really had a chance, Rod, to pick your brain about it yet, but, you know, that just the research that's out there, to me, is becoming very overwhelming that we want to get kids away from screens in the early years in particular. I was just reading an article today about, and of course, there's science on all sides of it, so, you know, discerning truth is always the issue. But this was, you know, kids who are spending at the youngest ages, 2 and 3 year olds, as much as an hour a day on a screen, and their brains start to show signs of dementia, like Alzheimer's type brain scans from overuse of screens. But an hour to 2, what's our state guidelines say for our littles? It's a VDOE. Sorry, I didn't mean to pitch that out to you as a surprise, but there is a guideline, right? So sorry, this is off the
That's all right.
subject, but it's a question.
We know that it's something that that you've wanted to discuss, so we've definitely been talking about that. We definitely tried to balance. So we definitely had a huge push in the last several years since the pandemic of really pushing hands-on materials handwriting, pencil and paper. So I would say it's used very judiciously in terms of we do have programs that are computer-based. Those are used mainly as centers or for a particular time of day. So we don't have cases where students are on devices throughout entire class periods or throughout the day, but used when strategically to support certain skills. So it's a balance because we do have computer science standards as well that we're required to teach. So we are definitely very mindful of it, and it's something that we have definitely pushed out to teachers as well when we're doing our curriculum work. But
So
we can definitely
there's-
provide more details on timeframes at some point if you'd like.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Is it like a classroom teacher level decision, or from a building
No, we
principal
do
level,
have,
or from you
yeah,
all?
we do have some guidelines around that, and primarily they would use it for centers, or if they're doing something through some of their online texts, they might do something online during that portion as well. But we have workbooks for math and for our new math program, and as you know, for CKLA, so there's a lot of pencil paper work that's part of their practice in response to their work as well.
It's good to hear. And when I was at Lightfoot, Mary Lee was sharing about the cursive lessons,
Yes.
which I love.
Yeah,
That
definitely,
they're still
yeah.
learning cursive.
Yeah, that's in our standards,
Yeah.
absolutely. But we can definitely bring forward a presentation regarding some of the guidelines around it and how we're utilizing it, using the devices.
I think a suggestion might be an exercise where you could take, maybe two of us, at a time to a
Sure.
school, and we sit in a classroom, and you help walk us through what the guidelines are.
Sure.
And then, how they go about it, because to Ms. Dawson's point, you read a lot on one side, and we're basically saying to young people, okay, I need some my time, here's a tablet, keep yourself busy, type of thing.
And they do.
Right, but then I think we have guidelines around within we'll call it the school walls, to where we can put some parameters around it, and just, they have to get comfortable with it. And I think us as adults need to get comfortable with, there is and you're using, for me, the key word, a balance of what, because it is the future. I hate to say it, but it is.
Yeah.
It's the future, so.
It's
where we
the
can find
present and the
balance.
future, but
It
it's
is.
also very concerning about the unintended consequences that are happening to our developing brains of these young children. So, I appreciate the balance of those things,
Sure.
absolutely.
And the devices should never be used as busy work.
No.
It should be used purposefully as part of a lesson, part of learning objectives.
I just also want to make sure that we clarify when we talk about screen time, most references in the research are to, in particular, social media, right, which is built on instant gratification and shots of dopamine into the brain to give you that instant feedback. If you want to talk a little bit about our parameters, what Jack was getting to, Brandon, as far as light speed and what, our students on our issued device can't go on to TikTok, and they can't just access Instagram or do whatever they want on the web, right?
Correct.
So the issues that are coming are going to come from what's in their backpack coming from home, or when they get home. It's not going to be on our device, because even on their home network, our device still has protections built into it. So
Yes.
you talk a little bit about that.
And I'm not going to tell you that anything is foolproof by any means. There are certain cases out there, you'll see kids Google it on their personal computers or personal phones. How do I get around this filter? But our filter constantly changes. So when that comes up, that goes away. So every time they try to circumvent that gets added into the filter, even from the corporate level. It's not even something we always have to do. We'll see that from the corporate level as they start to block some of those workarounds. But at the base level, we have social media blocked except for staff. And we do have staff members in the buildings that do social media posts and update news and the parents on all of that. But
Is YouTube considered social media?
that is a good question. It very much depends. So inside of our filter, we are able to restrict YouTube to educational only. That does pose a little bit of a problem because not everything is categorized as education like it should be, because the YouTube platform is a little different. They don't go through all of their videos on that platform and list them out like potentially Netflix does. So we have the ability to go in, and if a history teacher says, hey, this history channel is a really good resource, we'd like to have it unblocked, we can go in and move that into the educational resource bin. So it does prevent a lot of that social media and the mindless scrolling through YouTube as well.
In visits to the schools and the classrooms, I've asked a lot of the teachers that I've met about this issue and how they feel about it, and overwhelmingly the response is exactly what you said, that it's very limited, it's very targeted, it's not just here's a Chromebook, go do something on it. It's
Yes.
So that makes me feel better. But then so much of the research that I read, just the whole ed tech sphere, starting really from COVID, because we were all forced into it, and it kind of became, wow, this is great, let's just do everything tech. And now there's just a lot of hesitation about how much of that we should be embracing, especially with our littles. I understand it's the day and age we live in, and everybody's, when we have the computer science, when do we start computer science standards?
Oh, those start in the primary grades, yes.
So they are in the K2s.
Yeah. And we do a lot of that also in computer labs. So they do also hands-on activities. So if they're learning about coding, they might do sequencing of things that might not even be on a computer.
Right.
But we do have, when they are engaged with things for learning with the devices, it's interactive. So they're not just mindlessly watching something. They're engaging with that and responding.
Right.
That helps.
And I have read, I think the first place I read it was Jonathan Haidt's book, The Anxious Generation, that,
Yeah.
was
Yes.
was not so much, Dr. Hornick mentioned it's mainly social media, and I think that's probably true, but his research and his presentation was it's not so much what they're doing on the screen, but the fact that it's the screen. And that just gives me pause about how much we, anyway, it's a broader discussion for another day, but I think it's worth sitting down and having that discussion and figuring out what's the best way forward. Because I sent this to you guys, the Los Angeles Unified School District just banned no devices in their littles, and limited in their, that's a massive school division. It's California, but no offense, Sandy.
I'm from Virginia.
Over there on the.
I was temporarily displaced for 50 years.
Virginian.
Well, we can certainly set up
but it's just
visits,
interesting to hear all the different, nations and cities and school divisions who are struggling with this question. It's worth thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're mindful of it as well. So we can definitely set up classroom visits. We can take a look at the different programs, the recommended amount of time. For example, with Dreambox and the K2, we're looking at 15 minutes per day, basically, for math and those kinds of things. So we could definitely walk through that.
Thank you. I didn't mean to throw that on you unexpectedly, but I do appreciate your input in
Madam
answering those
Chair.
questions. And
I would
yes.
also, I appreciate what Jack has said, but can we have a presentation back also? Can we have the, further information in a presentation? And then those of us that want to go and participate in the classroom and get a little bit further information and feel more comfortable with it can?
Yeah, we'd be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the issue at hand is this Chromebook award bid.
I have one more question, not with Judy, so for you. How long do we have a contract for the iPads that we're continuing to use?
The iPads were purchased in bulk for grades K and 1. Excuse me. So we currently own those. They are out of warranty, so they are coming up on renewal.
Okay. And when you renew them, will they be put out to bid again to get these type of miscellaneous bids in, and you will go with the best bang for your buck, or will it be a continued Apple proprietary type of a?
So that will depend on conversations with myself and Dr. Wolfrey and the curriculum team on what fits best for the kindergarten students.
Okay.
If we do go Apple, they are sole provider, so
Yeah. I have had quite a bit of experience both with Apple and with CDWG, and I think that Apple tends to be a lot more proprietary, and I would imagine if we are out of warranty, that anything that we may need is going to cost or just not be able to be accomplished.
The only thing we're currently missing is break fix, but that's still supported. We would just pay directly for that.
Okay.
We still get software updates, and all of the apps still work on those devices.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Move to approve award of bid for the 26-27 Chromebook purchase to CDWG.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you,
and
Judy.
Dr. Wolfrey.
Next this evening, we have seeking approval for a comprehensive student demographic and facility planning. This is going to be a two-part move in time. We are looking to get the information we need to create a master plan within our facilities. And so we see this work in two phases with two connected but distinct type of studies. One is more of the enrollment projection and student demographics component, which we are bringing this evening. At the same time, we are seeking other vendors who can help us delve into true looks at our mechanical platforms and the conditions of our facilities as we move forward. So information from both of these studies will be very important for the board and the administration as we look to the future and plan out to set Orange County Public Schools up for success moving forward. And so this evening we would like to approve this first component, and knowing that an additional study, so to speak, or assessment proposal will be coming forward to the board that focuses more on the facilities side.
All right. Any questions or comments?
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. This is long needed and will be critical information for us
Yes.
to make the right decisions moving forward, I think.
Let Marty know yesterday.
Yeah. All right, we need the motion.
Move to approve recommendation to enter an agreement with Sturts and Company to perform a demographic study and provide master planning options in the amount of $78,900.
Second.
Second. Any other comments, questions, discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
When will this be done?
Well, they have a,
Tita.
well, if you pull it back up, it's probably going to take the better part of 4 or 5 months. It's in the documentation. It shows, I believe they have a, like, kind of a
Timeline.
proposed timeline.
Got it.
Before the next school year would be great.
We're probably getting
Probably
close.
not
They
going to
can start.
happen, but
Just scroll back up.
I think it said 4 months.
4 months?
Somewhere in there.
Scroll down.
Well, we started the clock, so that's a good
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, this starts it.
Yeah, there you
So-
go. This project is anticipated to take 4 months in total.
So just as we come back into the
Mhm.
school year. Okay.
Yep.
Do we know if they can start immediately after this approval? Are we in their queue?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
for this component. Again, there's also going to be a second as well, so just.
Okay. All right, that's great. And that brings us to item D, which is our budget.
Yes. And so the school board approved a budget in March based on projected state revenue as well as what we were seeking from the Orange County Board of Supervisors. They have come back in their budget with a different number. And so we need the board to approve some amendments to the budget, and this will be very important work so that we can get contracts out
Yes.
this week. Go to the next slide, please. You want to go here, Jamie?
So good evening. I just wanted to start out tonight, or just reminding everybody where we started with this budget. We focused on planning ahead for the declining ADM projections, which obviously impact our revenues, dealing with rising health insurance costs and working to absorb that impact to our staff. Identifying opportunities for savings, whether that be staffing levels to SOQ standards, evaluation of alternative solutions for contracted services, and just overall going line by line just to see where we can be more efficient or save some money this year because things are tighter. And then just minimizing new costs. So, we can't move forward without some things happening. So, just getting our arms around what's really priority and making sure that we can still move those things ahead. So this is just a budget walk between what we originally proposed and what we're bringing forward tonight in the amended budget. We started out with the request for local funding at the county level of 3.525, and we are ending with the 1.5 tonight that our Board of County Supervisors has committed to funding for us. So how did we get to the differential? What we did was we shifted that SOQ bonus that you just approved this evening to FY26. We originally had a local match portion of $668 built into the FY27 budget. Tonight you approved $356,000. That is the mandated state local portion that the state mandates. So our projection was a little bit high for next year based on a higher number of people in that number, and so we were able to save that by stripping that out and moving that into this fiscal year. And then we have a $1.35 million budget salary differential or vacancy savings salary lapse line item, if you will. That is a combination of a lot of different things, whether that be the timing of us filling our vacancies in the schools or elsewhere, and the savings that can sometimes happen just from that lag time to getting that to market. And then any salary differentials. We'll have a lot of retirements coming up, and so we have some folks that are high up on the salary scales, and you typically higher and lower on the scales, so there's a saving component there as well. So all in all, we strip down our request by about $2 million. On the revenue side, because of that bonus getting moved into the FY26 year, that 456,632 number is the state portion of revenue that we would have brought into FY27 that we've now shifted back to 26. There's a slight change in some of our federal dollars just because of some programming in the budget. Nothing big there. And then, of course, now showing the county contribution lower by the $2,025,496 that you see there. So those were the only changes in revenue. And then on the expenditure side, that translates into that budget salary line item is showing in the instruction line. So I don't want anyone to think that we strip down instruction itself. That's just that most of the personnel within our school system is obviously at the instruction level. So that's where you'll see the biggest input there. And the other line items are just a decrease associated with us moving that insurance increase impact down from 12 months to a 9-month impact because our new contract with Anthem starts effective October 1. So originally we had a full 12 months of that increase, and we stripped it down to the 9 months that will actually occur. And that is the whole of what we have updated and amended in our budget. We are looking for board action. I've shared in the slides after this one, if anyone is interested in looking at that. I've refreshed all of the detail schedule, all of the charts and things like that to reflect what we now have in the budget. So if anyone in the public or you all are interested, you're certainly open to reviewing those But in summary, like I said, just very minor changes, mostly impacting that salary lapse line item.
And again, we went through all of these slides when we first came to you all in March, and so they are all the same. They just now have they're reflective of the new funding realities that we know now exist that we didn't know in March.
Yes.
Have we locked in the insurance increase? Do we know what it is, or is it still?
They have told us that it will be 21%.
21%, okay.
Yes.
And so this budget still maintains a 3% pay raise for employees, as well as holds our employees harmless on that 21% increase. So there is no there are no additional health insurance costs being passed off to employees to offset.
Thank you.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Jamie, thanks for all your hard work. The only thing I would say, and this isn't for you, I say to our local state elected officials, if they're listening, pass a budget. We're one arm tied behind our back. I don't care if you have a D or an R, pass a budget. We need these variables locked in. So thank you for all your hard work on this and how clear and concise in everything that you've done.
May I? May I? Pass the budget and also work on fixing the way the calculations are done with the SOQs and LCI. It's absolutely ridiculous that local school boards have to juggle things like this, have to get down and play a little, play nice with everybody when they should just be funding student outcomes. Thank you.
I did have a chance to see Phil Scott. He was at the Prospect Heights event last week, and I had this discussion with him. And I told him, we are meeting with you, we are meeting with somebody, and you're going to pay, somebody's got to patron a bill to move some of this stuff forward. So they're hearing us. We just got to get them from hearing to doing. So that's in the works. We're looking at
we good copped, bad copped him. She was the bad cop.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
the,
that's
and
true.
we really appreciate all the help you can give us.
I know, I didn't.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, just so you know, is
That's what I said.
She was bad.
Yep.
I was good.
so this will be our adopted budget, but I will be back once the state passes their budget, because we will actually have to amend our budget one more time for the impacts of their
And
decisions.
hopefully that comes with an increase in state revenue that
We
we're
hope.
bringing forward to you all.
And one more thing
Yes.
I would like to state is greatly appreciate the presentation. It's really an improvement to have a little bit of more
Context.
conversation right there that we can read it and know what's going on, and also appreciate your presentation and ability to answer some of these questions. It's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ditto.
Make a motion to approve amended FY 26-27 budget.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board.
All right. And that's it, right? Down to item 11. Board members, any comments or future items? Ms. Harrington, anything to bring up?
No, not at this time.
All right.
I want to say I really did also appreciate the student representative that you brought in this time. And I think that maybe rather than having one sitting with us, I'm going to look at both options to present. But we kind of got into it a little bit late in the year, so
Right.
I'll bring that back in the fall and hopefully be able to start next year with either monthly, quarterly, some type of presentation and inclusion. I really appreciate that.
That is great.
Yeah.
Good to see.
I would also mention that Judy and Marilee, Miss Grubbs, Principal Grubbs, wonderful information, wonderful way to bring that whole team together into this process. And I listened to all of it. I was so impressed. But I have to tell you, what I was impressed the most about was her last two words: student outcomes. That's what we're here for. So it was really, really nice to hear that, and really wonderful to see how that group of people have collaborated and cohesive, come together to work on student outcomes. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate it. That's it.
All right. Mr. Hawkins, anything?
Yeah, well, I'd just like to, they're not here, but I would like to compliment the high school drama department, Robert and Mary, and all those people. I went to see The Little Mermaid Saturday night, and I was floored. I mean, I knew that there was a couple talented individuals that I'd seen perform before. I didn't know there were so many. And then the way they put that together, I think they could take it on the road. It truly amazing. I mean, I was so proud of those kids. I didn't know what to do. And I mean, you're talking about an old sports coach here, but man, I was into the drama department and the music and the singing, and I was just so impressed with those kids and how well it was orchestrated. It was totally amazing. And just like to make a comment about Miss J. Well, you're talking about the glue that helps keep that high school together. She's been doing these things for, well, I was there for many, many, many years, and Lori came about 4 years after I started, and she's still there, and she's still doing the same things now as she did then. And she's somebody that we need to appreciate.
Her excitement is contagious.
Mr. Rickett?
I'm good.
You're good.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Whittington?
I have two things. One is several of us went to the intern night, which was amazing. Ms. Patera has just really brought about a great effort for the community and our students, and listening to their excitement and their presentations was amazing. And shout out to Jack, who had 2 interns, who were I got to see one of his interns' presentations. They really like working with him. They learned a lot, and I just want to do a shout out to Jack and thank you, because I do internships where I work, and it's not always easy slowing down to help someone else speed up. So I want you to know I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And then I did attend the Academy of Technology and Innovation meeting this week, so I did just want to go for a real quick update on that. So one of the exciting things is that the ATI UMW robotics team, they won a 2nd place win at the Innovation Challenge in Dahlgren, and we had 2 Orange County students who were a part of that team. They were not able to come for the recognition, but it's great that we are contributing in an active way to what's going on that campus. And then we went through the student code of conduct, some boring stuff, but we also looked at their strategic plan and their hiring, and they've got some really great teachers coming on over there, and really have a path for growth for their school, but also for our students. And I'm just really excited that we're going to continue to be a part of that, because I think it's got some really great things going for it for our students who can opt in and get chosen through lottery to participate.
Yeah. A popular thing.
It is, I imagine, yeah.
All right. That's awesome. All right. Well, I had a couple things to mention. I'll piggyback on Mr. Hawkins. I was there Saturday night for The Little Mermaid, and he's 100% correct. It just blew me away. It was amazing. So well done. The intern night, of course. Prospect Heights Middle School last week had the 70th anniversary. Ms. Conley did a wonderful job pulling that together, and it was so awesome to see like all these retired it was like a homecoming. All these teachers, Mr. Hawkins, and it was a really, really special evening. So there's a plaque on the front of the school now about why it was named Prospect Heights. I never knew that until that evening. So it was wonderful. And somehow we've reached the end of our year. It's May. So we have a whole list of, and I couldn't even begin to tell you everything. If you look at the calendar, every day is jam-packed full with things. But our seniors in particular, we have coming up next week on the 12th, their senior awards on Tuesday morning, 9:15, senior scholarship night on the 13th at 6, the graduation walk on the 14th at 8:45. That's always fun when they get to go back and visit their elementary schools. Graduation practice on the 15th at 8, and then graduation itself on the 16th at 8, hopefully at Porterfield, although we do need the rain, but hopefully a different day for rain. And then the last day of school on the 20th. Are y'all counting them down yet? Nobody can shout out how many are left?
13.
All right. And then we have some wonderful retirees. There's a brunch coming up for them on the 28th here at 10 a.m. And then our elementary and middle level buildings will be having their completion ceremonies. And Ms. Byram's going to send all of that information out to us about when and where. And
She already did.
she did already?
I worked on it during closed
Were you checking your email during our meeting?
I did.
No shame. No shame. Oh, keep up with it. All right. There is great stuff going on. It's exciting. Exciting times. Thank you all for all that you're doing. Thank you, officer, for hanging out there with us. And I think we're done, right? Adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Have a great evening.
So really